my first life, my sister was everything I wasn't. Graceful, adored, the kind of woman everyone praised without reason. Our parents compared me to her endlessly. "Why can't you be more like Alara?" they'd say, smiling at her charm while I stood in her shadow. I loved her despite it all. She was my sister, my confidant, my best friend. Or so I thought. We grew up inseparable. She'd braid my hair in the mornings, whisper secrets before bed, and promise we'd always protect each other. I believed every word. When I got married, she was my maid of honor. She smiled at me across the aisle, eyes shimmering with what I thought was happiness. I didn't know then that behind that smile was envy so deep it would destroy us both. The betrayal began quietly. She'd visit often, always finding reasons to linger when my husband, Adrian, was home. "He's like a brother to me," she'd say with a laugh, her hand brushing his arm. I ignored the way he started paying more attention to her. Love made me blind, and she counted on it. It wasn't long before small rumors began to circulate, whispers at family dinners, colleagues' pitying looks. "You should keep an eye on your sister," someone said once. I laughed it off. I trusted her more than anyone. But then came the night I'll never forget. I arrived home early from a trip, excited to surprise Adrian. The house was dark, except for the soft glow from our bedroom. I opened the door and saw them, her hair tangled in his fingers, their laughter dying the moment they saw me. The world shattered. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't scream. My sister, the woman I had protected all my life, was wrapped in the arms of my husband. She tried to speak, to explain, but there was no explanation that could erase the image. I ran. I wanted to disappear, to forget everything. But the scandal followed me. She twisted the story, painting me as the unhinged, jealous wife. She was always unstable, she told our parents, crying crocodile tears. Adrian backed her up. They built their new life together while mine crumbled. Within months, I lost everything: my marriage, my reputation, my family's trust. The woman who destroyed me wore my jewelry, lived in my house, and smiled at me as if I were the intruder. When I finally confronted her, she didn't flinch. "You were never meant for this life," she said softly. "You were weak, naïve. I just stepped in." And then she turned away, leaving me in the ashes of everything I'd loved. Not long after, I died. Maybe it was the exhaustion. Maybe it was fate. I'll never know. But when I opened my eyes again, I wasn't dead. I was back, younger, stronger, standing in the moment before it all began. Before Adrian, before her betrayal. My hands trembled as I realized what had happened. The universe had given me another chance, a rebirth, and this time, I wouldn't make the same mistake. I watched her closely from then on. Every sweet word, every gentle smile, all masks. I saw the cracks I had missed before. I began to plan. When she came to me, pretending innocence, I smiled back, mirroring her act. If she wanted a game, I'd play it better. I distanced myself from Adrian, no longer the starry-eyed woman desperate for love. Instead, I focused on my work, my ambitions. I built connections quietly, learned from people who once dismissed me. My confidence returned piece by piece. I became sharper, calmer, the kind of woman who didn't beg for approval. She noticed the change and grew uneasy. "You've changed," she said one evening, searching my face. I smiled. I just learned my lesson early this time. Her jealousy flared the moment Adrian started noticing me again, the woman she thought she could manipulate. But this time, I wasn't interested. When she tried to flirt with him, I simply stepped back and let her reveal herself. People saw what I had once been too blind to see, her false charm, her envy. I didn't need to expose her lies. She did it herself. Behind the scenes, I set my plans in motion. I learned she had debts, secrets she hid from everyone. Using quiet leverage, I positioned myself to control the narrative. The same colleagues who once pitied me now respected me. My name began circulating in places she'd never be invited to. I wasn't just recovering, I was thriving. One night, at a grand charity gala, I made my move. I arrived in a sleek black gown, confidence radiating from every step. The whispers followed. Admiration this time, not pity. She was there too, clinging to Adrian, trying to maintain her perfect image. When our eyes met, she froze. She expected me to crumble, to shrink like before. Instead, I walked past her with a smile. "Enjoy the night," I said softly. "You'll remember it for a long time." Throughout the evening, I watched her unravel. Investors and friends she'd deceived began confronting her one by one. The secrets I'd uncovered, her manipulations, her lies, had quietly spread. The perfect sister everyone adored was crumbling in real time. Adrian tried to defend her, but the damage was done. The same society that once believed her now turned its back. When it was over, she found me outside, shaking. "You did this," she hissed. I met her gaze, calm and unbothered. "No," I said. "You did. I just stopped protecting you." Tears filled her eyes, not from guilt, but from losing the life she stole. "You'll regret this," she whispered. I smiled. "No, you will." After that night, everything changed. She and Adrian became pariahs, their perfect facade shattered. I didn't need to destroy them completely. Life did that for me. I simply walked away, free. Years later, I built something of my own. A business, a new circle, a reputation that wasn't tied to anyone else's shadow. People spoke my name with admiration, respect, even awe. I learned to trust again, not others, but myself. I found peace not in revenge, but in victory. In knowing I had risen from the ruin she left me in. Sometimes I'd see her name online, attached to gossip columns or whispers of scandal. Each time I felt nothing. No anger, no pity, just closure. She had taught me the cost of blind love, and I had learned it well. One afternoon, as sunlight poured through my office windows, a message arrived. It was from her. Just a few words. "I miss you." I read it once, then deleted it. She no longer existed in the world I built. She had destroyed my life once, but in doing so, she gave me a second one, stronger, wiser, and untouchable. Now, when I look in the mirror, I no longer see the woman she betrayed. I see the one who survived her, the one who took the ashes and built an empire, the one she can never become. Because in this life, I didn't just reclaim what she took. I became everything she pretended to be. And somewhere deep down, she finally understands what I do. When you betray a sister's love, you don't just lose her. You lose the right to stand beside her light ever again.